Okay, we're good, we're good. I honestly kind of don't want to do any part of this report um, today because long day. Um, so what I'm gonna do is basically do. I'm not gonna do any coding. I'm just gonna do the scope of the project, and then explain drawbacks of it. That's about it. Okay. Um. So from the last paragraph we did normalizing giving out data for free towards companies for a chance of getting a job. Normalizing that behavior. I could go down to the society realm, but nah. I mean, I think for this part, it kind of just explains it towards itself how we are overall going in towards a decline of data protection. Yeah, I feel like that's just really explains up everything. We're normalizing giving out data for free, in exchange of opportunity, and how we should not be doing that anymore. So, how should I'm just thinking about how to continue from that, like the next ongoing paragraph. That's a very hard thing to know. Because like in writing, especially if you take a writing class, it's when you do multiple paragraphs. I learned this the hard way that if it doesn't continue, then you did something bad. And the reason why you want it to continue is so as the reader, you're continuously reading, you're not, oh, what happened? You know, at the end of the day, imagine like if you're on a chapter on like a book, like you finish a chapter and then it goes from a different cutscene. Yeah, that's about it. So towards the paper, it talks about since normalizing this sort of data. How can I bring it up? Normalizing data is all. And normalizing data is no. For applying to jobs should be considered towards a different way. No. So how can we? I think how can we use artificial intelligence? I think that's a good one. So like because they're using artificial intelligence to making fake job postings, we can use artificial intelligence to tell if they're using artificial intelligence. So bad actors are using artificial intelligence. Well, I'm not gonna like. I would bet money companies do use AI just to make just to make actual positions. At the end of the day. kind of ruins this whole thing. This is just from classes. Gotta show research paper. What was my last? Sorry. For the next part, should I do application platforms? Now thinking of this. What about a company makes a real job post but uses AI for it? You're asking some question that actually started me. There are plenty of the stereotype different bit of posting legitimate jobs and creates an interesting problem for detection tools. Let me break it down. Generated likely AI, likely a scam or a fake post, generated by real job, likely AI, legitimate job, just poorly written. This means AI detection alone cannot distinguish between a ghost job and a legitimate AI written job application. This single is the same, but the intent is different. Okay. What? They started with no direct HR, uses ChatGPT to write job applications. The posting is legitimate. They need to hire, but the description is generic and false AI requirements and AI deterring real flags. It is suspicious. The scam AI ghost job, a terroristic operation uses AI generation humans of identical job descriptions. The postings are fake, designed only to collect resumes. The AI detection also flags the suspicions. How they differ. The real job responds to real applications. The ghost job will never respond to or send an automatic email. The real job will verify the company online. The ghost job will okay. So I think first of all we have to get towards the problem. So how can applicants distinguish from ghost jobs and real jobs in the current job market? I already know one of them. It's pretty easy actually. They actually put down phone numbers or emails on the bottom. Normally it's just be phone numbers, and all they gotta do is just call them and schedule a job at the end of the day. No, I'm not gonna say if you're. Actually, I don't want to open it up with that. I want to open it up with legitimate employers. Legitimate employers or have found a pretty reliable way to show they are a real job position by adding a phone number or email at the end of the job application, job description, my bad, description, in order to gain real applicants to apply towards the job. Different employers have found a pretty reliable way. Yeah, but it doesn't, the way the extension is. Question of the result, individual sense of their sense of information behaving is simply, but, I'll figure that out later, honestly. So what's the job? This is a legitimate way to bypass the ATS system and speeds up hiring. Explains up the hiring process. Yeah, for both the employer and, well, it's more of like a recruiter. I do not know how to spell recruiter. I'm just gonna say employer and the applicant. This is a surefire way to so what's up? Honestly, my own opinion, the best way to just get rid of all this sort of ghost jobs and stuff, actually have an institution that actually is 100% legitimate and no corruption, and have them be able to be posting job applications and then hiring and doing all this sorted stuff instead of using LinkedIn and other private companies. It's probably the best solution at the end of the day, and it would also solve employment crisis at the end of the day, instead of just hiding it and saying, actually, it's not that bad. When you really look at it in the employment, um, the unemploymentness of people, it's hard to get jobs. Um, it's just the characteristics of being unemployed. It's just hard. I don't think it's called unemployed. I think it's something. You have to like apply every 2 days, and if you get like let's say a side gig like mowing somebody else's lawn, then you're not unemployed. You're considered as a part-time employment, which in reality you can't you can't live off a salary mowing people's lawns unless you make a business. And let's say an HO, like let's say you do it for your entire neighborhood, then you can actually make some money. You can actually live on that. But part time doing that, no, you can't. Um, there's a legitimate way to bypass the ATS system and speeds up the hiring process for both employer and the applicant. I think it's kind of funny that um, I think it's pretty hilarious that speeding up the hiring process for both the employer and the applicant is just not to use ATS at the end of the day. Um, but typically, yeah, that probably do. For this is more common and towards in more professional roles because more professional roles and smaller businesses for the main purpose. Yeah. The purpose of hiring the candidate. In the in an appropriate amount of time. In an appropriate. Hmm. And bad actors can also just simply continuing playing this cat and mouse. The downside of this is sooner but later the bad actors will follow suit by using AI to spam call / email these job postings. Which makes it just yeah. I think that's yeah. And also making fake job posts to lore. I cannot spell lore. sketch applicants of guard. The downside of this is sooner but later the sooner or later bad actors will follow suit by using AI to AI/machine learning, not AI is good, AI to spam call / email job postings, and also make fake job postings to catch applicants off guard, and use their information for profit. A game of cat and mouse. A game of I want to say a game of cat and mouse, but not really. Yeah, I'll definitely need to use some sort of resource of this. Let me just go to the files, see if that paper has anything about it. Research paper, ghost jobs. Man, I hate it how Linux has a document viewer. I mean, I do like it, but it's like it kind of gets in the way. You know what I mean? It just gets in the way. Like I'm gonna view it on my browser. So last time I was on 199, I'm pretty sure. Of this paper. 188, nah, it's definitely from somewhere. 189. Okay. I'm about like halfway done for this research paper. I'm currently reading. So yeah, that's fun. Also, another thing I don't like about Linux is that when you want to move one side of the let's say a window, you can't automatically move both. That's something I don't like about it. Okay, there we go. Unfairness and deception. Section 5801 of the Federal Trade Commission Act provides that unfair or deceptive acts or privacy or practices in an offering communication commerce or unlawful. The FTC Act empowers the FTC to prevent the use of such
devices.
Yeah, devices. It just caught me so off guard. The agency justification to do is expanded with the reason of protection. I'm assuming they're going to make an argument that FTC makes an argument about it being unlawful for deceiving and that makes ghost jobs unlawful at the end of the day. of the FTC Act, 2, customer protection theories description has played a leading role in the FTC enforcement action. The FTC may bring a claim under the description prong of Series 5A if there are a reservation on this action that are likely to mislead the customer acting responsible in a circumstance of a customer's determinant. Enhancing in the elements, in these elements, or the concepts of natural and energy with which the FTC has described as a functional and the same for purpose of section as the FTC has explained. Injuries in that's just injuries. Nature draft. Updated with or leave loopholes. So it basically describes the FTC Act. FTC enforcement, a group of the enforcement action addressing with the Prince calls peace. Is that Piace? Deceive object fraud offers an approach that could be rapidly applied to ghost jobs. Deceptive object fraud involves schemes in which the object of the customer include the
inducement.
Inducement is not just misalignment. What is it? Misleading. Categories, but often illusionary. The FTC has, in several cases, charged companies with deceptive acts or practices in violation of Section 5A of the FTC Act for using a deceptive object to separate customers from their money. Ghost jobs are just a new iteration of the same scheme in which customers damage the description of object a chance, however small, to obtain employment before jumping to endure. Yeah, okay. That makes the point from back here. In 2019, the FCC sued a group production of employment search firms and their common owner for misconducting that closely represents the modern job ghost job phenomenon. Wow, this shit's been happening in 2019? Wow, that's insane. In FTC and worldwide exclusive job search solution, the FTC alleges that the group of company and its owner exchange in deceptive acts or practices in violation of Section 5A of the FTC Act by marking bogus job placements and resume repair services, duping customers out of millions of dollars. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I'm just gonna skip some things. You know, I don't think this one has what I'm looking for. It's a good one, but it goes more about the legality of it, which is fine. It's absolutely fine. It helped me out on my research paper so far. So Google Scholar. So what are we trying to find? This is more about... Okay, this is gonna be hard to find. Honestly, this one's gonna be really hard to find. I'm gonna use AI to help me out for it. Is there a research paper about okay. Research paper about whatever. Whether isn't a single paper that somebody violates, it's genetic, very quick rapid implementation. The practice is adding details and JavaScript and bypassing. However, underlying. Okay, so I'm gonna have to look for an article. Help me find an article for this. I am wanting keywords. I didn't explain it. Keywords. For searching. I am mainly wanting to find a article that tells applicants to find job postings that have phone numbers, whatever, phone numbers, and to use that for it, and to not bypass ghost jobs. No, it's mine. I'm just using it as a tool. I know what you mean. Like, I can, you can make a whole research paper through DeepSeek, but I don't want to do that. I'll use it for like helping me out and towards certain aspects, but I'm not gonna like, oh, what's just write me a research paper. I'm not doing that. I'm just using it for helping me find more harder stuff. .io, nope. Or what's the other one for? .org. This is a .com. I don't know why it showed that. What the hell am I? Point of Energy Computer System. President. Weird. AWS, ATS, referrals, direct contact, and smarter strategies. Employee referral. Reach the hiring manager or recruiter directory. Oh yeah, find them on LinkedIn. Yeah, you'll need LinkedIn Premium, and you'll need to hope to God they're on LinkedIn. Job page or versus job boards. Yeah. Oh yeah, career pages. Yeah. Now work your way in. Still optimized for a ATS. That's not what I'm looking for. Alternative trading system. Okay, I think reading through, I know a lot of people say read through the job description, and this is what they mainly want you to do. They'll hide their phone number or a phone number for you to call in the job description towards the end. So they don't really care about everything that's going through their ATS, but they mainly are looking for people that actually call them. That's what I'm trying to find. At least some sort of article. Apparently there's no research paper for it. It's more about reading the description. Reading the description of job postings for recruiter. It's about it's mainly about so it's about ghost jobs being a security issue, and how it's at the end of the day it's like so basically when people apply to jobs, they go through to ATS, Um, that's basically the way to detect spam, and it ranks these each applicant for how high they are in the scale. So the recruiter would see the top people, and that's all they really care about, the top 1 to 10 to 1 to 50, whatever, and that's really about it. But the reason why I'm doing this is because it's in a database, and recently we have you've probably heard about a lot about data leaks, data breaches, and stuff, and all that information. Exactly, all that information. It can if it leaks, people are screwed, and there are specific types of they might put as an input for the ATS for like something like social security numbers and other very important very privacy, not privacy, but stuff that you should keep private at the end of the day, information. .gov. I'm not gonna find a .gov for it. .org. Man, I do not know how to Google. I could have swore like you just put .gov and it only shows you .gov results. I don't want to use this one. Follow up your job location though. How can I get recruiters who call me? Email. Google doesn't do it. Use DuckDuckGo. This is .net. I completely forgot about that. How to read a U.S. job posting like a recruiter, expert, and explain tips. Stanford Senior. How to read job posting like a recruiter, step by step. Identify core keywords and phrases. No. Common mistakes when reading job posting, how to avoid them. Rewrite. Workshop. No. Quality bar. Marketing, no. Nope. If I don't find an article, I'm just going to... I might have to just straight up just have proof for that part. Because, I need something to represent. Otherwise, I'm not making a research video. I'm just writing for the hell of it. What's required? You know what? Yeah, it just doesn't have any. How to decode, no, recruiter's phone screen. Job search playbook. The hell is this? This is one of these AI websites, ew. How to read, how to spot a job scam. Sure. Man, I I hate these websites, man. They're literally just, oh yeah, here, upload your resume to figure out if it's good or not. It will pass the ATS. Well, newsflash, idiot. Every single job application has their own ATS. Now, there's bundle groups that have, that give out ATS and they're the same for others, but at the end of the day, the ATS are different for each job posting. This is at least a .gov. Do some research, scammer off a fake, legitimate. Never pay for a job. Yeah, that's true. Beware of too good to be true offers. Check for personal communication. Legitimate employers use professional emails and communication methods. Be wary of personal accounts or private messages. Longer employers will have their own domain. Be careful. Examine the email address and the domain. That's definitely something you should be doing. Protect your personal information. Never provide sensitive personal information, your social security number, bank details early in the process. That's what I mean. These companies putting out the ATS card, giving questions. Hey, what's the last 4 digits of your social security number? Don't do that. Don't do that. The last 4 digits are the most important. The others you can just tell by your gender, age, date of birth, and race and other stuff. Trust your gut. Final thoughts. Super good. Post a job. Recruit you. Sure. If I have to use a LinkedIn, I don't want to use a LinkedIn. LinkedIn's so bad. Why reading the job description matters? Job description is more than just a list of duties. It's a roadmap. What says confirmation, performance. For an example, blah blah blah. Pro tip. Job represents only part of the story. Asking the right questions apply. Wow. What a very helpful article. I fucking hate AI, how it's just like fucked up the web. Why job postings are misleading, decoding, reading job postings. Fuck me. Okay. There isn't any articles online and research papers to back up my claim on this, but I can search on platforms on LinkedIn and other LinkedIn to find recruiters or employers leaving their number for applicants. Since I can't use that for citation, should I show proof of this to make my point? Of course, blurring out the numbers or any other personal information about, just personal information. But anyway, the current job comes while you wouldn't find anything after paper specific traffic and adding your phone number can support your points by citing sources that confirm these threats. Here's how you format. The core claim is blah blah blah, so you can track. What? I'm not caring about that. Okay.
Since you can't formally cite the LinkedIn posts with phone numbers, presenting your screenshot of them as an exhibit is a valid way to support your point.
Okay, cool. Perfect. I'm gonna have to learn how to cite screenshots. Oh my god. How would I how do I cite these screenshots to the paragraph? LA formats.
To cite your own screenshots in MLA format, you need to treat them as a personal photograph or personal image, since you took the screenshots yourself. However, because the screenshots contain other people's public LinkedIn content, you have a specific ethical and academic responsibility. You must clarify that the content is from LinkedIn but that you captured and redacted it. Here is the exact MLA citation format for your in-text citation and works cited page, along with a perfect caption for the image itself.
I'm gonna go ahead and load up. Nah, I'm not gonna load up GIMP. Not yet. I'm gonna go on LinkedIn now. Find some job postings. Let's do software develop. Software develop. Bro, I put. Okay. Curious actually. Do these intern positions have a number already, or no? Probably not. Nope. That one doesn't. This one doesn't. You know, I completely forgot too. For some reason, when I log in to LinkedIn on my account, it produces me garbage. So I'm not gonna log in. Software engineer. I'm just now thinking about it. Yep, that is the first one. The first one. The first one. Automatic. Boom. Um, I'm just gonna have to do this. That's one screenshot. This one doesn't have a screenshot though. No emails. Golang had an email, but Java didn't. This other Java doesn't. This database engineer doesn't. Another database engineer doesn't. I found one. Like, I'm pretty sure the other day when I did my live stream, I found like a couple. Of course, Amazon's not gonna have their number. Yeah, not really thinking about this. I should just, if I find one, I should follow through to your companies. And ignore the ones I've already did. I mean, I don't think this would be really a very unethical thing to do. Live streaming, searching through job descriptions. I hate how there's another one, but same company though. I want to get different companies. I want to get at least like 5. How many points do I need though? Like, probably 5. 5 is good enough. Let me actually look for something. Gemars. How big is this company? Holy shit. That's not how big they are. Where's the over 10,000 employers? Okay. Oh, that's why. For some reason it just went that. Let's actually look for developer instead. Sure, development. Nope. 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 Actually, I'm curious, is this... I'm not too sure how the whole search function works. Because if it works for everything, then that's good. Actually, that's trying to be smart. Bum, 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 bum. No, LinkedIn, I don't want to log in. Damn it. Software engineer. Oh. Okay. Oh wait, I almost forgot to test out the... So there's 11. Okay. So, it does not... I can't cheat the system for doing, trying to search it for phone numbers through, the inspect or, the other way around. Let's look for, company... There's not that many filters, honestly. No, John Deere does not do that. Air traffic. Let's look at Indeed. Software developer, USA. United States. Okay, what about this one? Nope. Skip the generic application, show us what you have built, a GitHub repo, a project you have proud of, hardworking, you cracked, and how you did it, what matters, resumes, what your resume says you might be able to do. This part, weird. Oh yeah, okay. There's not a lot of filters when you're not signed in. Yeah, this is gonna be a lot more harder than I originally thought. Short answer, one well-chosen screenshot is usually for an academic paper. I am good on finding, because I got my own. So then let's go ahead and do that. GIMP. Now, I do not know how to use GIMP at all. Let's just open an existing image, screenshots. Recent one, modified. That's today. I'm just gonna go ahead and not. Okay, how do you use the blur tool? Blur. How do you spell blur? Tool in GIMP. The blue toner / sharpen tool in GIMP is a brush-based paint tool. On the local blur or sharpen. Yeah, I'm not. You know what? Widening it out is probably the better option. Widening it out is the better option because I don't know how to use the blur. Smudge. Yeah, I am not getting it at all. So it's a droplet. Clone, eraser, paint. Go to tools, paint tools, blur. Okay, paint tools. Where the fuck is blur? Clone, blur / sharpen. Dude, this is not. Okay. Yeah, you can still tell. Hmm. No, sure, a shortcut. By using Shift U. So it doesn't make a bunch of a difference. What? So I think the best way to do it is just sort of make it a little more wider. Definitely, and then blur it. Or just paint over it. Yeah, I'm just gonna paint over it, I don't care. How do you change the color? Huh. I'm just gonna white it out. And my GIMP. And GIMP broke. It's not working no more. Oh man. Pictures, screenshots, this one. Okay, let's go ahead and try to do a whiteout. It's not white. Yeah, I can just increase the size. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Honestly, I think that's the easiest way to deal with it. What are the things I need to blur out or redact in the shot? Email address, last name or recruiter post, personal pictures, direct URL slash. Okay, so we're gonna crop it. Tools, how do you crop? shit. Oh no. What the? Maybe just do this. Yeah. There's really no point to... No. Okay. That's how you do it. Email addresses. Okay. There's no last names or any of that. Yeah, there's nothing. Company name, if they're a very small business, if the job is Joe's local plumbing in town, 500 people, leave the company name visible. Wait, leave the company name visible. Identify the creator. If it's a massive company, like, you should think of visual. Looks like job location, street address, duh. Unique job titles. If the title is extremely specific, senior left-handed wood polisher, blurring the company name might be not enough. It's a senior software engineer. Go for General Motors. You must do any recruiter phone number, email, your last name, profile pic, direct profile, or application link. What you should react. GM, the JR number visible in the official career page. Results. While not personal information, redacting it prevents readers from identifying the existing job listing, the specific location if it's a small single business. What you must leaving the city is fine, but you can blur any specific street address. What you must keep, do not redact the LinkedIn logo or LinkedIn. Show your platform, the company name, General Motors, the job title, essential or for context, the general job description text, what you do, requirements, the date of the post, if the screenshot shows posted. Okay, so cropping wasn't a good idea. Actually, I have to redo this screenshot too, because I have to keep the dang too. Okay. Wrong one. Idiot. I gotta use Firefox. I'm too tired for this. LinkedIn. Nah, buddy, I want to go here. Go to jobs. Software engineer, yes. Okay. Boom. Actually, I do have to. Let me go to OBS. I've probably shown it a lot. To be honest, I don't even really mean to do that. Yeah, you guys can't see nothing, you perverts. You guys are perverts. Okay. Screenshot of the whole screen of this one. There we go. Alright, I got it. I'm gonna go back to OBS. Boom. You guys should be able to see now. Any minute. Oh no. Fuck. It's not even the right one I meant. Damn. Open. There we go. So I have to blur out the number. Not really blur out. I'm just gonna completely redact it. I don't need to redact the whole URL. Just more of the, that is not dark enough, buddy. All the way. Still not dark enough. Dude, how do I make this a lot more harder? Angle, nah. Let's do that. Nah. Spacing? What the hell is spacing? Oh, hell no. Hell no. Hardness. Max. Force is maxed. There we go. Yeah, I can show most of the URL, just not the entirety of it. That's the thing. Okay. Now for the numbers. It is not doing what I want it to do. Definitely not doing what I want it to do. Actually, never mind. I can just use this, the erasure. Why didn't I just do that beforehand? Like, literally, that is the best option. There you go. Perfect. It's redacted. What a beautiful screenshot. I I can do cropping now. What the hell's cropping? This one. There you go. Because I don't need that. This is just the date and shit. The URL's fine because you can't find them specifically. All this part is just this part and this part. I guess. Should I read? That's New York, New York. These are just major cities. It's not, and they're from major companies too. So, J.P. Morgan Chase and Amazon. So, I think that is it. Save as. Documents. Here, Ghost Jobs. Job profile. I spelled that wrong so much. Screenshot. Yay. Alright. Let's go ahead and go over here. How do I import it? Gotta do open. Upload. Weird. Ghost Jobs. What the hell? No preview available. Okay. Can I save? What type of picture can I save in GIMP file? Going back to GIMP. You can say file, yeah. JPEG. Documents, Pembroke, this, Ghost Jobs, this. I do a save as. File type. I don't think it's capital. I'll just do PNG. PNG. The given file name cannot be used for saving. Save me to export digital. I wonder. Sure. Did that do it? Yeah, that did it. Let's go ahead and upload that. What the fuck? Wait a second. It compressed all the text? What the f- That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I did not know Google can do that. It literally just compressed all the text. That's so fucking cool. That's how I should have done it. Duh. Man, that's funny. Alright. Good progress. So, recap. From my last thingy I did for the ghost jobs, I found a it didn't really describe it really well, and I found a different turn to go towards, which this is one of the ways you can actually find a good job, or a job that isn't just what's it called, for no, it isn't a ghost job. Basically, you'll actually get employment by finding phone numbers in the job description. I don't think it would be LinkedIn's primary to hunt after them, because you pay for job postings per day, not per day, but per month, or whatever plan they have. Yeah, that's about it. See y'all, guys.